everyone, it's Lesley here with a new video for you with the new release of the Alice stamps. So this is the new stencil called Suits You, and this is our wonderful Alice. We have the Cheshire Cat, the White Rabbit and the Mad Hatter, and they're all absolutely lovely to work with. To go with these, with the Suits You stencil, we have new metallic paints called Alice, the Duchess, the Queen of Hearts, Mad Hatter, March Hare and the gorgeous Cheshire Cat. So today I'm going to do a little demo for you with the Mad Hatter, some papers, some vintage papers that we're going to rip up. I'm going to use Raven Black, black gesso, and see where we go. Okay, so to start off with, I've black gessoed my plaque. So I'm going to pop it all on a wooden MDF plaque. So I've just coated that both sides with black gesso, and we're going to rip some of these papers up. So I've already done some of them already because it's pretty boring watching me rip paper. So all you do is, if you've got a tearing ruler, use your tearing ruler, and you just want strips of paper. So I've done that already in advance, and I'm using Slap It On Matte, and we're going to pop that all over this plaque. So start off at the top, spread it out, generous layer, and then I've got lots of strips of paper that I've cut up already. So all I'm going to do is paste them on the back and pop them in place. So straight across. I'm going over the edge because that one's a straight one, so it can just fit round the edge. And then continue across, paste the back, pop it across, paste the front, and just keep going like that. Try and get them the right way up, because otherwise they look a bit weird. Keep pasting as you go. So I've cut quite a few up already, so it shouldn't take too long, but I'm sorry if it's a little bit boring watching me just paste pieces of paper on the background. I've varied the sizes a little bit, and I did use a tearing ruler for most of them, which is why they're quite regular in size. But I'm popping the edges over the sides, and so we've got a variety of thick and thin pieces, and the straight edges you won't really be able to see because they're going over the edge. I'll stick that one over there. Just vary it up a little bit. This one's going the wrong way, so let's give it a bit of variety. Oops, I didn't want to stick. Just keep going along. So I've done one of these plaques with all of the characters so far. Well, I will have done when I finish this one, other than Alice. So I still got Alice to do. I just thought there'd be quite a nice piece of wall art with all the different characters on. And perfect for Alice in Wonderland fans out there. I've certainly had a lot of fun making them. So all we're doing is creating a bit of a background. And I've also taken an advert out of an old vintage book that I found, which I'll show you in a minute. Put another one on. So we've got a variety of papers. I'll just pop a little bit around the edge and then just wrap them around. I might actually put some grab and go glue on, just to make it a bit more secure. You could always go around with an emery board and take off the edges, but I've decided this time for some, I don't know why, I would normally go around with an emery board, but this time I've decided to just wrap them round. Makes your fingers a bit sticky, but I can manage. Just wrap them round, and they're all soggy and sticky. Nearly there. And I think what I'll do is I'll give the edges a coat of black gesso when I've done. So I'll just clean that mess up. Pop that over there for a moment. A lid back on the glue. Have a clean up. That's better. Put my brush in water. So that's what it looks like so far. So this bit here has come off while I've turned it upside down, but that doesn't matter because we're going to cover that. So what I do next is get a piece of paper. So this time it's still the old vintage paper, and this is our wonderful Mad Hatter. I'm just going to stamp him on the vintage paper. So, because there's a lot of solids on this one, and he is really dramatic, I'm going to ink him up really well. Turn him over, press down. And please excuse me while I stand up. There he is. Gorgeous. So just going to clear embossing with embossing powder. Tip it all over. Add back in the pot and heat it up. So there he is, all embossed and looking really dramatic. So next thing is to rip round the edges. Let's take the edges off. So this is going to be our background image. Oops, missed a bit. Never mind. Just got a little bit close there. So I've left all of these little background pieces, so all these wispy bits, they're all still on the picture. So I'll bring the plaque back in, and I think we're going to put him somewhere right like that. So get my brush, a little bit more, slap it on that, put the ink out the way. And just paste the back. It's just the same as we did before. And then pop it up here. So just the same, and add him to the background. Pressing down quite firmly to make sure he sticks. And that covers up that bit that was underneath. So while I was doing that, I also stamped him on white card and cut him out. So he is eventually going to go over the top, but we're going to paint him first. So the things I'm also going to add to this are this stamp. So this is from the Alice stamp. I'll show you her. So this is Alice. So you've got the lovely image of Alice. You've also got the mushrooms and this. So this is like the floor, the checkered floor. But I found that I quite like using it on other bits as well. So I stamped that on the vintage papers and cut it out. So this is what it looks like when you cut out. So I stamped them back to back and then just cut round them all. So under here I have a few. And I'm just going to add these around the border. Just pop an edge on. Just like that. And then down here. And somewhere there should be another one. Never mind, I'll cut this one. They're easy to cut out, fairly straightforward shapes. I just think they give a nice border. So that one will go down this side, so I'll cut off the excess. Oh, a little fly on there. So that'll give me a frame at the top. And then the piece that I took out of the magazine was this, and I thought it was quite apt for the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. So I'm going to put that somewhere down here. So it's old vintage paper, and it was out of a catalogue, and it was for the Empire Tea Rooms, an advert, come and have a cup of tea. So, oh, Mad Hatter's Tea Party, that fits. So that's that bit so far. So I need to do a little bit of painting, I think. I think that works. Yeah. I'll do a little bit of stenciling. I'll put some, just a few hearts, I think. I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of paint, pop it in the lid, and use the Suits You stencil. Just follow this bit down, I think. A little bit more. Yep. And then maybe a little bit of black, I think. So this time using Raven Black, and the same principle. Just a little tiny bit of paint. Pop it in the lid. And we'll go with clubs this time, I think. Further down. Looks like a plan. Okay, I'll just dry that off a little bit. And I'll take these off and paint them. Whoops. Right, pop that to one side. And we'll get to going with some of these colours. Just a little bit of water. And I think this time I'll use the Mad Hatter. So just a little bit of paint onto my mat. Look at that metallic. Add some water. just going to do this, we're going right the way across. I was going to do it square by square, but I'll paint the black in. So this underneath is printed paper, but you're not going to see anything very much of it. It's just a few lines, so you're not able to read anything. Just a little bit more paint. Use very little. It goes a very long way. Right, that's that bit, and then I'll pop a little bit of black on the bits in between. So back to Raven Black, plenty of water, and this time I'm going to paint in the black squares. Just gives it a little bit more darkness. So just continue on. It is worth it, you can see the difference when it's painted. Pop that to one side. A bit more water, a little bit more paint, I think. Let's paint them in. Yeah, happy with that one. So two down, 2 to go. I've got slap it on matte on my fingers. I need to give them a bit of a wash. Last one. Sorry, it's a bit boring watching this. I'm done as quick as I can. and we'll get it dried and start putting things together. Hopefully you can see that it's worth the effort. Just adding that little bit of black. Right, pop them down, give them a quick dry. Oops. Right, that's 2 on the floor. So I'll just bring back the plaque and put some grab and go glue on those. So I'll pop that one across the top. Add that one to it. Put this one down the side. Slide it into place. There's the last one. Just overlap that one a little bit. So the glue all dries clear. And there's the top. Give my fingers a spray. Right, that's done. So now I think what I'll do is I'll pop the teapot in place. Just using grab and go Glen. Just encourage that with my fingers. Need to have another wash. A bit messy. Right, so the idea is that goes to the edge, comes down here, move it up a little bit. There we are. Clear this up. Then we'll paint our lovely Mad Hatter. So I'm going to use March Hare. The images I have of the Mad Hatter, I think he had green hair. I seem to remember green hair anyway. So I'll just colour that in. So this is just the green metallic paint, which is March Hare, and lots of water. So water it down quite well, then it flows. And because you've used clear embossing, then it only goes to the bits of paper it can reach, because the embossing powder acts as a resist. So I'm also going to do his coat green. And all the shading's already done for you. The stamps are amazing for that. It's just so easy to work with. Let's colour straight over. Down his lapels. So this time I'm going to do his hat band in Mad Hatter. Adding water again. And do his button, the same colour. I think I'll do his cravat in Cheshire Cat. That's going to stand out. Add some water. Can get quite a deep colour with the Cheshire Cat. And if you add a little bit of Alice to it, you get a lovely purple as well. So I think I'll do that for his shirt underneath. Oof. Tiny little bit of Alice. Mix that on the edge of the Cheshire Cat. Just pop that down here. Yep. So for his skin, I'm just going to use a little bit of Distress ink, I think. I'll just pop a little bit on the table, mix it with water, and I'm using Walnut Stain Distress ink, watering it down really well. Then I'll just paint it over his face. Just giving him more shadow and then watering it out. And then for his hat, I'll do Raven Black. So you can see I've used a tiny little bit of paint each time, mixed it with water, really diluted it well, and then it flows beautifully. Put that around the brim. And then for the card on here, I'll just dull it down with a little bit of distressing. Might add a little bit of green paint to it as well. So he's very dramatic now. Put the lids back on my paint pots. Have a little bit of a dry. Oh, missed a bit. Just need to paint in his eyes. Tiny little bit. I'm just going to give him green eyes. Yep. Dry enough. So I'm just going to use a little bit of black gesso just out of the lid and just go around the white edges. And pop some water down as well. Just gives a nice finish. Just got a nice black edge. Hopefully you can see that. Just in all the little bits. Plenty of water. And I do it from the back so I don't make a mess of the colouring on the front. Just in case I slip. Nearly done. That's all darkened off now. Yep, looking fine. So I'll pop the lid back on the black gesso. Tidy up the paints. rid of that. And then I've got my soft mat. Pop him face down. Find the ball embossing tool. You can see I have the Cheshire Cat underneath. Reuse my pieces of paper. When you see the one for the Cheshire Cat, it looks a lot better than that. Right, so he's going to go over the top. But before I do that, I'm going to just take this little bit of distress ink that we've got here, and I'm just going to paint some of these swirls in. Just give it a little bit of atmosphere. Add some shadow. A little bit of background interest. A little bit more, so you could do this when you've finished. So when you've put your top image on, go around with your Stabilo or pencil if you want. I just had some distress ink left on my desk, so I thought we'll just go around while we're here rather than waste it. Add a little bit of shadow. And then just a cocktail stick and some 3D glue, which is bunged up. That's better. Just a few little bobs. You can use foam pads or whatever you want for this. Super thick Slap-It-On works. It's just takes a little bit longer to dry. So for speed on the video, I thought I'd just use this. Turn him over, pop him in place. There. So on the stamp set there is a sentiment, and it is a classic sentiment, and it says, there we are, let me find the sheet. It says, "You're entirely bonkers, but I'll tell you a secret, all the best people are." So I've stamped that out onto the same kind of paper in the background, and I was going to pop it there, but my teapot's in the way. Right, we'll make this fit somehow. Oh, and he's over there. That's not going to work. Pick this up. I should have put him on first. Never mind. I'll make it fit. There, rescued. So I'm just going to rip down this. And then the same between. Just gently. So I'll have that bit on there, I think. And then rip a little bit more. So this is just the same black ink, so VersaFine Clear, and then onto the paper and clear embossed again. But I'll tell you a secret. Where do I want to split it? Not quite sure yet. The best people are. Take that off there. So, tell you a secret, all the best people. All the best people are. Yep, okay. Bit of grab and go glue. Make it up as you go along. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Last one. Slide that to the left a little bit. Yep, that's okay. So the last thing I'm going to do is take a brush. Which one do I want? This one will do. And black gesso. And I'm just going to paint around the edge. So we folded all those edges over, and now I'm just going to paint them. You could, as I said before, you could go around with an emery board and just shave them all off if you want. But I think this time I just want to make them black. Just a different way of finishing it off. So hopefully you can see. Put that back in the water. Smooth that out. wipe off the excess. Oops, dirty cloth. And that's it. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you want to make your own. So if you do, please share them on the I Love Indigo Blue website. We'd love to see what you make too. As I say, they're fantastic stamps, and I'm really enjoying working with these. So I hope you do too. That's bye for now. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.